Hello, everybody, and welcome to the kickoff of WebHacks UW. This is our second year running WebHacks, our fully virtual hackathon, and we're very excited to have everybody here with us to kick this off. So, to get started, we've got a check-in form here. You can scan that QR code with your phones or click the link on your devices. Let me see if I have the link here. I do, so I'm going to send that in the meetings channel right now. And you'll be able to fill that out to sign in. And what that'll mean is that we'll be able to give you the hackathon role in the Discord server, which will let us ping everybody involved in the hackathon all at once without having to ping the whole server. And will also let us get a team name that we can use to create a team voice channel for you. So go ahead, get that filled out. There's also a spot for some of our sponsor-related stuff, namely uploading a resume that we can share with Sub-Zero, our sponsor for WebHacks. And you can submit questions to ask for the Q&A that our sponsor is hosting tomorrow at 3:30. So again, go ahead, scan that QR code or click that link, and you'll be able to get all of those hackathon privileges set up in Discord. So to briefly go over the rules of this hackathon, first, since we're a web development club and this is WebHacks, your project should be a website of some sort and be running based on web technologies, frameworks, and libraries. So what this means is you can do anything from a basic HTML page with HTML and CSS. You can use JavaScript, you can use React, React Native, Vue, anything that is aimed and targeted at creating a website. This doesn't necessarily mean that you have to host your website on the internet. You don't need to purchase a domain or anything like that. As long as it's running as a website that you would access through a web browser, be that on a computer, on a mobile device even. We just want to see a website is pretty much the gist of this rule. And then like all other hackathons, pretty much the code should be your own that you wrote more or less from scratch during this event. If you're using any packages or libraries, obviously those are able to be used and you don't have to write those from scratch, but the bulk of your project or the main logic and implementation should be something that you've written starting now and ending before the due date. In order to evaluate the code and look at the submissions for every project, we ask that everybody create a public GitHub repository that you'll be able to use for the entire project. We'll be able to look at and judge based on that, and it'll be a great way to collaborate with your team. So we'll be collecting those from our participants at some point during the hackathon. And finally, in order to be judged and be eligible for prizes, your group will need to present your project to our panel of judges, which will be our executive board, and you'll be able to then, if you're selected, present at the end of our ceremonies as well to the entire club. So participation is not just making a project, we ask that you present it as well. And now here's our schedule for what the hackathon will entail. Right now, we're all at the opening ceremonies, starting off the 72-hour event. After the first day at 3 p.m., we'll have check-in number 1, which will be where you'll be able to share the link to your repository as well as the name of your project. This is just so that we can all get a little glimpse at what some people might be working on. It's also fine if you don't have a name for your project. You can keep the name temporary or something to that effect. But we want to make sure that your GitHub repositories are all set up, you're able to collaborate easily, and that's what that check-in is for. And then right after that, at 3:30 tomorrow, we'll have our Sub-Zero developer talk and Q&A. So our sponsor, Sub-Zero, has got a developer coming in to talk about what it's like to work at Sub-Zero and work in web development and let our participants ask questions and learn from those experiences. That's not limited to participants in the hackathon. Anybody in the club is welcome to that. So definitely let people know, and we'll have lots of people there. If you're looking to submit any questions beforehand, then you can do so on the check-in form, which again is linked in the meetings text channel here. Saturday, we'll have our second check-in, so that'll be 2/3 of the way through the hackathon, and so we'll be looking for a screenshot of your project. Again, it doesn't have to be complete, doesn't have to be the final product, but just looking for some fun and teasing sort of pictures of what we can expect to see when your projects are all done. And then finally, on Sunday at 3 p.m., that's when submissions are due. So then at that point, we will not be accepting any further commits to your repositories or changes to your code. And we'll start with the judging at that point. And then by 7 p.m., we'll have judged everything, determined the winners, and we'll have our closing ceremonies where the selected winners will be able to present, will be able to give out awards, and close off the WebHacks UW 2022. So now, if you look in Discord, in the channels section on the left, you should be able to see the WebHacks section of channels. This is where we're going to be using to centralize all of our hackathon discussion and things like that. So first of all, we're going to, once you've filled out the check-in form, assign the WebHacks role to everybody here so that you'll be able to get pings when we say at WebHacks. Then you'll be able to get a notification. We'll use that to communicate different things to do with the hackathon. Any announcements we make will happen in the WebHacks announcement channel, and you'll be able to check there to see what the latest news is on what's happening. WebHacks discussion is where we'll have places for check-ins, memes, just general hackathon type chatter. We also have WebHacks help desk for asking questions and sharing resources, just communicating about the technical details of your project and looking to see if you can get any assistance if you're stuck on something, looking to learn something, that kind of thing. And then we also are going to create team voice channels for all of our teams that you can then use within our Discord server to work and share your screens and collaborate as part of your team. So once you've filled out the check-in form with your team name, then we'll go in and create those channels for you. Some recommendations for those of you who maybe haven't done a hackathon before or maybe have, but in general, questions are extremely welcome. Hackathons are a great opportunity to learn and a place to share and discuss. So don't hesitate to reach out in the WebHacks Help Desk channel, or if you need to message someone directly, then that's also fine as well. But we just ask that you go into the project and be willing to learn something. We want you to step outside your comfort zone and find that you've learned and grown as a result of your experience here. We also don't think that it's worth your time, worth 72 hours straight to work on your project. It's not meant to be super competitive. It's meant to be an opportunity, like I said, for growth and learning. So don't spend all 72 hours working on your project. The main goal is to learn and grow, and we want people to have fun while doing it as well. And spending 72 continuous hours is a great way to burn out super quickly and not have a fun time. The themes and the inspiration for some projects is it's a loose categories that we've created here. We're not judging based on these themes or anything. We want to just spur people to create something with these in mind. So technical complexity is something that we'll be looking and hoping to see. We want people to create things that push the boundaries and show that they've been able to learn and grow so that you're able to take something away from this experience. We also enjoy innovation, making things that are new and exciting that no one else is doing. So definitely keep that in mind when coming up with ideas for your team and for your project. And the best websites are those that are user-driven and based on things that a user is doing, that they're creating, that they have and have looked for, and your website is able to provide to them. So being able to create something of value based on a user-specific content and information is a great driver for an engaging and meaningful website. So now judging, like I mentioned, won't be based on themes. It'll be based on the following categories. So we're going to judge based on the creativity of the project, how innovative it is, the viability of the product if it was going to be brought to market, the style in both the product and how it's presented, as well as the presentation itself, how detailed and smooth it went, and then the ability of your group to respond to questions about your product. So in general, you should be looking to create a product that is creative and does something new that would be valuable in some sense, and do a good job of presenting it as well so that we're able to see what it really has to offer and get excited about it, just like I'm sure all of you are. So then after we've concluded judging, we'll be awarding the top 4 projects and groups the prizes in the following order. First place will receive $200 split among members of the team, and then second will receive $150, third will receive $100, and fourth will receive $50. And also all of these top 4 winners will have the opportunity to show off their projects during our closing ceremonies. So like I said, it's meant to be a fun hackathon, but we also want to encourage people to create something that's going to be exciting and valuable, and especially want to encourage people to present and have a chance at winning these prizes. So then, for those of you who haven't formed a team yet, you're welcome to use the team building channel, the team formation channel. I think we have a couple different ones here, so we might actually end up consolidating those. But the goal of a hackathon shouldn't be to work alone and create something. Part of any project is collaboration, and I know a lot of people signed up as individuals with the intention of forming a team. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there, share a message like some of you already have about what you're skilled at, what you're excited about. If you have any message, if you have any ideas for a project that you want to work on, definitely share that, get people interested. So just send something and form a team and get started on working together and collaborating. And so with that, I think that that is everything to cover here during our kickoff of WebHacks 2022. Everybody is now free to begin working on a project, forming teams, and everything like that. And then anybody else who has any questions, feel free to go ahead and unmute now and ask. Otherwise, have a great hackathon, everybody. And like I said, don't be afraid to ask questions, send any messages, and we're all looking forward to seeing what you guys are able to create. So, best of luck.